Welcome to Sunday School Junkie, the podcast for anyone who's addicted to reaching kids for the kingdom. Whether you're a brand new volunteer, a veteran teacher, or just looking for inspiration, this is the place for tips, tricks, and stories from the best in apostolic children's ministry. Let's talk shop, share resources, and celebrate the incredible opportunity we have to shape young lives for Jesus. Now let's get started. All right, welcome to Sunday School Junkie. I am flying solo today, all alone, but in our kind of remodeled, in the process of being remodeled little studio. It's pretty exciting, looking good and fun in here. Today, you know what? I'm coming back. We had about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago now, we were in Gina, Louisiana for CMC Children's Ministry Conference, and it was great fun. Love being with the Ashleys and Pastor Wells and Christ Temple Pentecostal Church there, and everybody that came, and Brother Booker and Brother Stender and the Bradshaws and the Leals. I mean, it was a good time. If you get to go to one of these CMCs, man, I highly recommend it. It's so fun, so good. Next one's in Rialto in April, and then I think Northern California's got one in July, and then back to Union City, Tennessee in October. That's what we've got scheduled for this year, so they're a blast, a lot of fun. Join us if you can. It's definitely worth the effort and the time to go and just be with like-minded people. All right, so this episode of Sunday School Junkie, I've had this on my mind for a long time and just hadn't taken the time to record it. So today's the day, and it may be a short episode, but I hope it resonates with somebody like it does with me. I'm just going to start with this cheesy illustration, but I think it's relatable. I hope it's relatable to a lot of folks out there. Have you guys ever seen mom and a dad kiss in front of their kids, and the kids groan, "Ooh, gross, that's nasty." But the parents, they're smiling, because when you love something, you just can't get enough of it. I'm that dad, and I love my kids' mama. Everybody knows Sister P is the brains of the outfit, but that's how passion works. Ecclesiastes 1:8 says, "All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing." The eyes don't say, "I've seen enough, I'm done." No, your eyes just keep looking. They keep seeing. Your ears don't say, I've heard enough sounds for my lifetime. That's enough words for today," and they turn off. It doesn't work that way. Your ears are going to keep hearing, for the most part. When you love a song, you put it on repeat, and you just can't get enough of it. And Ecclesiastes 5:10 says, "He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity." So that's saying that passion doesn't run out. It drives you deeper and deeper and deeper. When you love something, you can't get enough of it. And with that in mind, I'm going to switch gears. We're going to talk about a young man in the Bible. And this is how I say it. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I call him Bezaleel. Bezaleel. And he's in Exodus 31, verse 2. He's called. It says, "See, I have called by name Bezaleel." This is the Lord speaking to Moses. He says, "See, I have called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah." So, this man, this guy, his name means Bezaleel, however you say it, means in the shadow of God. His identity spoke of living covered by the Almighty, covered in the shadow of God. That's a good name right there. That I wouldn't want to be named Bezaleel, but living in the shadow of God is where I want to be. And his grandfather was Hur. He was the man who Aaron held up Moses. He, with Aaron, held up Moses' hands so that Israel could win the battle against Amalek in Exodus 17. That was his grandfather. Bezaleel came from a heritage of faithfulness, of intercession, of being close to the man of God, of living in the shadow of God, right? So this is something else that I think is super neat, and I don't know that it's scientifically proven or whatever, but this is, I think this because of the way it's listed here. So because he's listed in the genealogies, okay, and we're in Exodus, he was very likely the firstborn son. Okay? And as we read Exodus, one of the things that it's just been hitting me lately, like as I read it this year, last year it hit me the same, but like you're reading Exodus and there's a Passover in which if you didn't eat the lamb, if you didn't put the blood over the doorpost and you didn't obey, the firstborn was to die. So, if I'm reading this right, in my mind, Bezaleel, they hadn't been in the wilderness long. Bezaleel would have been one that is spared in the Passover. He had the testimony, not just coming from a heritage of intercession and prayer and godliness, but literally under the shadow of the Almighty, living under that shadow where he was delivered from the Passover, through the Passover. Like that just, for some reason, it just blows my mind. He had a reason to walk with God and to consecrate himself to God. And that leads us to Exodus 35 and his calling. And Exodus 35:30 through 35 says, "And Moses said unto the children of Israel, See, the Lord hath called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. And he hath filled him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to devise curious works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in the cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. And he hath put in his heart that he may teach, both he and Aholiab the son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan. Them hath he filled with wisdom of heart to work all manner of work of the engraver and of the cunning workman and of the embroiderer in blue and in purple, in scarlet and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work." So listen, he hath put in him, in his heart, that he may teach. Another translation said, has given him an heart to teach. I want that. I want Bezaleel's heart to teach. Now, we don't know how old he was, but he was young. Some say he was as young as 13 years old. But he was filled with the Spirit of God. He was skilled, he was wise, he was creative, and he was given an heart to teach. And so he was leading all those that built everything in the tabernacle. And this is another thing about Bezaleel that he was the man charged with building the Ark of the Covenant. He didn't leave that to somebody else. Exodus 37:1. "And Bezaleel made the ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth of it, and 1 cubit and a half the height of it." Bezaleel didn't just carve decorations. He built the Ark of the Covenant, the very centerpiece of God's presence. You talk about the shadow, living in the shadow of God, the holiest object on earth. This young man with a heritage built. Again, this young man living in the shadow of God, carrying a testimony of deliverance, chosen to build and to teach. His age didn't disqualify him. His experience didn't disqualify him. God had placed something inside of him, and that was enough. And when God gives us, when he gives you, when he gives me a passion, especially a heart to teach, you will never be satisfied sitting still. You will want to share it. You want to see others catch on to it. Because when you love something, you just can't get enough. The world chases silver and fame and pleasure, and they're never satisfied. But when God puts in you a heart to teach, you'll discover a satisfaction that the world can't touch. Bezaleel built the ark, the resting place of God's glory. And when you teach God's word, you're building a resting place for his presence inside someone's life. You're building an ark of the covenant in somebody's heart, in somebody's life, in somebody's mind. And if God has given you a heart to teach, don't wait, don't hold back, don't get enough of it, but step into it. Because when you love it, when God put it in you, you just can't get enough. That's it for this episode of the Sunday School Junkie. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, but most importantly, share it with someone in kids ministry. Let's build a community of passionate teachers who are reaching this next generation. And if you're looking for more great children's ministry resources, I highly recommend checking out the Apostolic Podcast Network for even more amazing content. Till next time, keep loving, keep teaching, keep making a difference.